Going on everyone, it's Sal Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. There's no live watch along tonight, so you're gonna have to make do with me talking about Manchester United. Some may say depressing world of Manchester United, or is it a positive world of Manchester United at the moment? Of course, we've got lots of works going on in the stadium. Of course, with the tunnel being redeveloped, we've also got the stand being redeveloped as well. We've got some of the VIP seating changing into normal season ticket holder seats. Is that a good thing? Are Ineos thinking more about the fans and the fans, not the prawn sandwiches, the famous prawn sandwiches fans, not those, but the real United fans, you know, those ones who go to every game, home and away. So, how are you all doing tonight? Of course, I will be bringing you Chatterbox every single day. It doesn't have to be a watch along. Sometimes I'll be doing Chatterbox with the watch along. But on other nights when there's no games on, I will be talking everything Manchester United. Now, Manchester United, of course, have been heavily linked with a move for De Ligt. De Ligt has come under slight criticism from Manchester United legend Andy Cole, or Andrew Cole, as some may say, as he calls himself sometimes. He has pointed out the fact that De Ligt has been at various clubs already in his career. He's a bit of a journeyman already, very young, of course. And every single team he goes to, he goes for a lower price. So, of course, certain things are not always black and white. Some things are just multi-layered. Not everything is clear in day. What we do know is De Ligt is a very good player. He's a Dutch international. He's been around the block. It hasn't worked out for him at Juventus and Bayern Munich as much as he would like to. But then why would Bayern Munich fans write petitions to try and keep De Ligt? This is the question that I want to ask you guys. Andy Cole obviously is a Manchester United legend, but he obviously has concerns. Of course, it's natural to have concerns about players who are a bit of a journey players at a young age. So, of course, it's up to him if he wants to have those doubts. Of course, it's only natural. You always have to approach things with cautious optimism, and you always have to look at the various sides to the argument, and it has to be multi-layered. In my opinion, before he signed for Juventus all those years ago, I rated the player. I rated him highly, and I haven't changed my mind. I think he's a very good player. He's very quick, contrary to popular belief. He's actually quicker than Chiesa at Juventus, you know, the Italian international. So I don't know what people were saying. He's slow. There's a lot of people just getting a bit, narrative, like bringing up narratives to fit their narrative sort of thing, if you know what I mean. So thank you all for joining me tonight, by the way. Please subscribe and smash a like. That would be very much appreciated. I'll be here for the next half an hour bringing you Manchester United news, and I will be for the foreseeable. Now, in regards to players out, we want to talk about players out, don't we? Manchester United have not released any players yet, but there are rumours that Manchester United will be getting rid of a few players. Getting rid is a bit of a harsh word. Well, will be surplus to requirements at Manchester United. Of course, there's many players on our books at the moment that we need to get rid of. I said rid again, but it should be surplus to requirements. But Van der Beek, for example, of course, it hasn't worked out for Van der Beek. He needs to find a new club because his career seems to be spiraling out of control. He hasn't had football for a while, and it hasn't worked out for him on loan at Wolfsburg, I believe he was. So I think Manchester United should be looking to offload him, and maybe he needs to start again somewhere else. Maybe become a big fish in a small pond, if you know what I mean. He needs to become. So I need him to go away, improve, and come back stronger, sign for another club, and rebuild his career, basically. He needs to rebuild his career. Of course he does, you know. And I feel sorry for the guy. He didn't really get a chance under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't really use him right. So it was just like a domino effect with the Beak, and it just didn't improve, did it? It was just a bit of a mad one, to be honest. When he signed, I was excited, of course, because of his talent. It was very exciting that we signed Van der Beek at the time. But it just didn't work out for him for whatever reason. As I said, many things are multi-layered. The only concern I would have about Van der Beek, I wouldn't read too much into what he did at Bayern or what he did at Juventus, but the only concerns I would have about Van der Beek is that he comes from Ajax, and we haven't signed a player from Ajax who's really impressed us through the last signings. Of course, when you think about Danny Blin, when you think about Anthony, and when you think about De Beek, and now De Ligt, of course. We have more joy signing players from PSV Eindhoven, believe it or not. And of course, there's a few players from PSV Eindhoven I would like in my side. Sangare is another one I really admire. Is another player I really admire. Jadon Sancho has had various offers from Italy and Spain. A few clubs have been inquiring about the services of Jadon Sancho. Of course, Jadon Sancho is a very popular guy when it comes to loaning. But Manchester United are no longer interested in loaning players out. They want to sell. They need the money. We need to sell the player. We're not giving out any more loans. And damn right, we shouldn't be giving out any more loans. No more loans. We need the cash, and we need to sell Jadon Sancho and make sure he goes to a club permanently, because we don't need that headache anymore. Of course, he cost United a big headache last season. It cost Ten Hag a big problem last season, and it was very disrespectful to the club. And I don't think the fans will be happy if he comes back. Kenny, what's going on? I hope you're well. De Ligt would be a good signing, mate. Would be a good signing, of course. Of course, we have to always practice cautious optimism when it comes to players. But at the moment, he would make a very good signing. And as we said earlier, him and Branthwaite would be a very good combination in defence. Very exciting. It looks good on paper, and I would be very excited if we do that deal. It would be a good move, a move in the right direction, defensively wise, because it's a young partnership as well. If we can get Branthwaite and we can get De Ligt, then it would be exciting. Of course, if we get a left back as well to cover Luke Shaw, it would be good. And things have been looking up for us. We started from the back, now we're here. We started from the back, now we're here, as Drake once said. So we have to start from the back. We have to make sure our defensive line is good. We have to make sure our defensive line is solid. And that's what's important. In regards to Victor Lindelof is exploring his options after he's not being offered a new deal at Manchester United. So it looks like he will be leaving the club. I believe he has 1 year left on his contract, and there has been interest from various clubs in Italy and obviously in Spain as well. Rumours are that Como in Italy have inquired about Victor Lindelof's availability. Como, of course, are run by Cesc Fabregas, formerly of Arsenal and Chelsea. It's an exciting project at Como, and I won't be surprised if Victor Lindelof does go there. He would do very well there and would fit the mould. He does come across as a kind of Serie A type of defender, and I think he would do very well if he went to Serie A. I wish Victor Lindelof the very best of luck if he does leave, because he's been a very good pro and never moaned about anything, just got on with it and just carried on playing his football. No rumours, no noise, no talking behind the back, no interviews here and there, you know. So I have nothing but respect for Victor Lindelof. I feel he's had a good run, and he's been here for a long time now, and he needs to move on to pastures new. And I think United will need to move on to pastures new as well. It's good for all parties if Victor Lindelof does leave, and I think that if he leaves, it won't be nice. But you know, we're not in for niceties here at Man United. Man United need to be ruthless. Unfortunately, people are gonna be hurt, aren't they? That's the way it is, unfortunately. Sadly as it is. Now, in regards to other news and players out, Galatasaray of Turkey, of course, the Turkish club want Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Scott McTominay. A double deal. It's like all you can eat, double pitard, all you can eat. That's what you want. It's a double deal. You know, it's always nice when you get a double deal, you know? You'll buy one, get one free, all that. You know, it's always nice when you get all those things. So, Galatasaray from Turkey want Wan-Bissaka and McTominay. Last month, Galatasaray offered 21 million for Wan-Bissaka and McTominay. A totally unacceptable offer, of course, because McTominay alone is worth 30 at least. Yes. Exactly, Kenny. All you can eat kebab, delights. It doesn't go amiss, does it? When you go into a kebab shop, you get a nice bit of bread. That's what you want. You want a nice bit of bread with your doner kebab. What are you meant to eat the doner kebab with your hand? What? They're going to put a bloody fajita, whatever there, or what they're going to do? You need to have your bread with your doner kebab. You need to. They need to offer incentives. If we're going to sell Bissaka and we're going to sell McTominay to Galatasaray, they need to offer us the bread. if you know what I mean. Money. So the bread, instead of the bread, bread stands for money in this situation. Yeah, exactly. So we need Wan-Bissaka and McTominay, but for both of them, 50 million minimum. 50 million minimum. I'm not lying, I'm not joking, I'm not a clown, I'm not here to entertain anyone, I'm telling the truth. 50 million for them two players, not 20 million. Is this a joke? Is this a joke? Is this a pound shop or what? Are we a pound shop? Do we look like a pound shop? Are we pound stretchers? Are we in Croydon, pound stretchers? Is that where we are now? We're not of charity. We need to sell the players at the right premium price. We're Manchester United. We're supposed to be the biggest club in the world, for goodness sake. Now, in regards to Marcus Rashford is due to have talks with the new CEO, the technical director, whatever you want to call it these days, Dan Ashwood. He's going to have crunch call talks with Dan Ashwood in regards to his future, as his future looks a little bit uncertain, more uncertain than it's looked in his entire career at Manchester United. Marcus Rashford, of course, didn't do too well last season, but for a number of reasons, of course, a number of reasons that, you know, are multi-layered again. He had a number of noises outside of the game. He was very defensive, couldn't take criticism. And it was a bad season for him, and it's up to United whether they want to be patient with Rashford. But in my opinion, and I mean this in the biggest respect as possible, I think now it's time that Rashford went on to pastures new, and he went to a team like PSG would be very good for Rashford. I think sometimes a relationship in football, it comes to an end, and he has to leave. He has to leave the club, and he has to go to PSG, because there's been so much outside noise, distractions from Marcus Rashford, that has just got in the way of his football. Of course, I think he done really well in the FA Cup final. He still has a job to do, and if we do sell Rashford, we do need to replace him as well. So that means we need to get on the phone and start making those calls and trying to get new signings in. Of course, United were heavily linked with Anthony Gordon this week from Newcastle United. Newcastle United, financial fair play, they need to raise some funds. So Anthony Gordon wouldn't be out of the question, to be honest. I don't think he will. I think if we try and get Anthony Gordon, we might actually be successful if we show them the skrilla or the bread, as you like. Now, the strangest news of the week, obviously, was Lukaku being linked with a return to Manchester United. Was one of the most funniest things in the world. Lukaku I liken to a bouncy castle. Whenever the ball hits him, it bounces off him and goes so out of play. We had Lukaku, of course, before at Manchester United, and the ball kept bouncing off him, and he couldn't control the ball. He's had a poor tournament at the Euros, been non-existent, to be honest. I'd never believe in going back. I never ever believe in going back to the club you once were at, unless your name is Paul Scholes, of course. If your name is Paul Scholes, then by all means, come back. Even now, come back, because you probably do a better job than whoever's there, except Mainu. Mainu looks absolutely superb. So, Manchester United, with the appointment of Dan Ashwood, I would say, things will start getting a move on now. Things will start moving forward a bit quickly. Things will start materialising a lot better. Players will start coming through the door. Players will start leaving. And that brings me swiftly on to the news that Manchester United are set to make a quarter of their staff redundant this during the next few weeks. Jim Ratcliffe has emphasised that he wants to concentrate more on the football team. So he found it necessary to make a quarter of our staff, 1,100 people in estimate, redundant. It's really sad when people on £35,000 a week are made redundant. When you get the Glazers, the greedy Glazers, who take their dividends, who take the money, who make all the money that they need, and are sitting there in their greedy mansions, whilst people become redundant, people on minimum wage, the cooks, the catering staff, the cleaners, these type of people are the ones that get hurt. And I think this is absolutely a terrible thing at Manchester United. It's sad that we have to go down this road, but unfortunately, it's not so much Ineos's fault, it's the Glazers' fault. And just to think, there are people out there who still support the Glazers, some of them with big platforms, some of them mouthing off about other managers in the Euros. They're absolutely pathetic, in my opinion, to support people who have leached from this club for the past 20 years, taken money from this club for the past 20 years. They need to sort their life out. They need to think about their life. That's what they need to do. Exactly. Think about their life. Now, in regards to this news, it is going to hurt a lot of people, of course, and Manchester United will be a bit of a sad place for a little while, won't it? With lots of people losing their jobs. Of course, I don't mind people who, have taken advantage of their positions. I don't mind people who won't go to Old Trafford, just sit at home, work from home, and just won't, go to Old Trafford or go into work, just sitting at home, doing their own thing, twiddling their thumbs and etc. I understand that. But it's always sad when people lose their jobs. And I, for one, I really feel for those people, because those people have mortgages, those people have loans, they have bills to pay, they have kids, etc. So it's not a good thing. And anyone supporting the Glazers, anyone who has a remote a centimetre of sympathy for those leeches, are no United fans, in my opinion, and I'll say that loud and clear. They're not United fans. They don't know about history. Manchester United is the working man's club. We came from the working man, the working woman. That's where we came from. Manchester United came from that. So did Sir Alex Ferguson. That's where Manchester United came from. The workers, the miners, those sort of people. That's where Manchester United came from. And it's important that these corporate people in suits remember that. They do their study and they remember where we came from. Now, in regards to transfers, Manchester United are stepping up interest in Ugarte. Manchester United have inquired about Ugarte and have begun talks with Ugarte's representatives in regards to the move to Old Trafford. Ugarte, of course, is very interested in the move to Manchester United. And, of course, various outlets in Uruguay have spoken about how he would fit the mould at Manchester United. I believe that as well. I believe he will fit the mould at Manchester United. And another, as I've banged the drum all week, that he will be a very good addition to Manchester United. Of course, the South American thing, the wearing your heart on your sleeve, never giving up, will fit very well at Old Trafford. Of course, like Licha Martinez has, those type of players. Casemiro in his first season as well. So that would be a very good signing for me. And I'm glad to see that things are progressing. Hopefully within the next week, it is July now, we have got no excuses. I want players through the door before pre-season. Hopefully by the next 1 or 2 weeks, we will have Ugarte through the door. And we have De Ligt through the door. And hopefully we'll have Branthwaite through the door. Another player that we are interested in, of course I said it earlier, was Gutierrez. Gutierrez of Girona, of course, is owned by Real Madrid, 50%. Real Madrid want to sell Gutierrez. Manchester United want to come up with a deal for Gutierrez. Eric Ten Hag is said to be obsessed with Gutierrez and would love Miguel Gutierrez at the club. As a left back, of course, we are very short on left back. Malacia was injured last season. Shaw was always injured last season. So bringing in Gutierrez will make a very good signing, in my opinion. It will make a very good deal, in my opinion. And I believe 34 million is the offer that we're putting on the table. That should be enough. He's wanted by Chelsea, Liverpool and Dortmund as well. So we have to act quick. We really do have to act quick. And we have to get a move on and make sure that we get him through the door as well. Because we do need a left back. We cannot rely on Shaw. We tried relying on Shaw many times in the past and it hasn't worked. He gets injured far too often. Far too often. Now, in regards to other news at Manchester United, of course, I spoke about the stadium being revamped. Obviously, the tunnel is being revamped. But Casemiro, swiftly on to Casemiro. Casemiro has had interest from various clubs in Europe and Saudi Arabia. Casemiro, of course, had a very good season. His first season at United, it didn't work out for him in the second season. Now, Manchester United want to cash in on Casemiro. Various clubs in Saudi Arabia, various clubs in Europe, unnamed clubs have inquired about Casemiro. And I think, we should cash in on Casemiro now. Would I bemoan or would I groan if he stays at Manchester United? No, I won't, because I think he's a good player and he's a good player to have around, very experienced. I think he will be better. He had a lot of problems on his first season, of course, with the suspensions, with the injuries. It really affected the momentum of his play. And I think he was a very good signing, in my opinion, a very good buy for us in that season when we won the League Cup and we came third place. If we do sell Casemiro, I believe that we do have to find a replacement. Of course, I've been speaking about Ugarte in glowing terms. Ugarte is a very important player for me, I think. I think it will be a good replacement, similar, younger replacement. And I think if we sign Ugarte, it will be very, very useful at Manchester United. Very good signing for Manchester United. Now, in regards to, where are we now? Rangnick. So, Ralf Rangnick, of course, is the manager of Austria at the moment. He has been throwing criticism at various teams at the European Championship, saying that they're not playing the game the right way. They're playing very defensive and very negatively. Of course, that's a parting shot at France and England and teams like that who have bored the life out of us, especially me. I've been doing watch-alongs the whole week, so I know what it's been like. He's been criticising certain teams in the European Championships for playing so pragmatic and a boring style of football. As I do say that, Gareth Southgate is exploring the option of playing a three at the back. Can you believe it? We're thinking even more defensive than we are, when we should be thinking even more attacking. He's actually thinking more defensively. Can you believe Gareth Southgate's thinking more defensively? He's actually thinking about playing three players at the back. That's absolutely diabolical. He needs to think more forward. England's strength is going forward. I don't understand where his thinking is at times. I have no clue where his thinking is at times. I don't know what he's on. I really do not know what he's on, because he's delusional. If he thinks playing three at the back at this stage in the tournament, when we haven't played it for a long time, if he thinks it's going to work, he's absolutely reading or drinking out of the wrong bottle, because at the end of the day, playing a three at the back when you've been playing four for years, you know, it's just a suicide, in my opinion. It's suicide, especially as Switzerland, who England play on Saturday, will be playing a three at the back. And the difference is, Switzerland have been playing three at the back for the past 5 to 10 years. So they know how to play three at the back. They're very good at it. So it's like Sensei and the student. Sensei is Switzerland, student is England. If Sensei, the three at the back, play against England, three at the back, so the student will get Sensei'd, won't he? So England need to play to the strengths. They need to play attacking, and they need to make sure that they play four at the back and play a more attacking style of play, which they're good at if they try, if they have the bottle to do that. Right, as we saw last night, Turkey going through. Turkey played brilliantly against Austria. Austria obviously impressed in this tournament, but Turkey were brilliant. Absolute fair dues to Turkey. Turkey went through playing very good football. Went 1-0 up and still went for the killer. Still went for number 2, number 3. That's how you got to play. You've got to be brave. You can't be cowards in this game, especially if you have £100 million players in your team and have one of the best squads in the world. But let's bring it back to Manchester United. Of course, a recap. Manchester United are interested in releasing Lindelof out of his misery and selling him to a number of clubs in Italy. Como are interested in Victor Lindelof. Another thing, Manchester United target Xerxes, who has had interest from Arsenal as well, is 99.9% certain to leave Bologna this season. Representative of Bologna said that because of his release clause, he's 99.9% certain to leave the club. Of course, that has opened the door for Manchester United to sign Xerxes. I think we need to act quick. I think we need to act swift and get Xerxes over the line. We need the striker to challenge Rasmus, and we need to get that done quickly. We've got a lot of work to do at Old Trafford, a lot of signings, a lot of players out, a lot of work, a lot of redundancies, a lot of chaos it's going to be. And the minimum I would like is to have all the players through the door, at Old Trafford, early. So that would be very, very good for us if we can do that. If we can get the players early, it would be a rare and would be a refreshing change to the mould, what we've done for many, many years. We need to do things properly this time. We need to move and we need to do things properly. We can't be out here, having half the squad ready for pre-season games, not being prepared for the first game of the season against Fulham, struggling against Fulham, playing bad football, and the Ten Hag outers will be out in their droves, start talking again, start saying, we told you about the ball fraud, blah, blah, blah. We don't want none of that again. We don't want none of that rubbish from last season. We thought that we came to an end with that. We want everything ready. We want no excuses. We want the best team out that he can possibly pick. We want transfers through the door. That's what we want. Guys, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. And of course, subscribe to the channel. It's very important for the algorithms, very important that we as a team, as a family, as a community, we build this channel and we keep building and we keep building. Brick by brick, step by steps. Remember, if you carry bricks from your past, you'll build the same house. We want to build a new house. We want to build a new house on this channel, and we want to build a new house at Old Trafford. That's what we want. We want to do this, and we're going to succeed together as a unit, as a family, as a new community in the football hemisphere. That is Stretford Post. Thank you for joining me for Chatterbox. I am Sal Warner, and I will be back tomorrow morning for break of dawning. Now I'm yawning again because it will be very early. But no watch-alongs tonight. No watch-alongs tonight. So there'll be no extra time going to bed at ridiculous o'clock. So I'll be back though on Friday for the epic encounters between Germany and Spain and France and Portugal, which should promise to be absolutely brilliant games. Better than what we witnessed, isn't it? So guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. You have a great night, and I shall be seeing you all tomorrow for Breaking Dawn and Chatterbox in the evening. Guys, take it easy, yeah? All the best.